Okay, this is going to be a very brief reaction of The Smashing Machine, which I had a smashing time in. Performance-wise, my God, the acting, Emily Blunt and Dwayne Johnson together was absolutely sublime. The pair of them are on-screen dynamite. They, from beginning to end, they portray the story and background of Mark Kerr, heavyweight championship winner and loser, and it is just, yeah, it's brilliant. It's very, very gritty. Well, I say gritty, it's fucking dark in places. I mean, the movie opens with Dwayne Johnson pummeling the shit out of some bloke's face, like in a ring, and it's really raw. So if you're you know, a bit on edge about sort of flesh flying all over the place, flesh and blood in your face, then don't watch it. Otherwise, yeah, fans of like martial arts and wrestling will love it. Not for me. I've never been into that sort of sport. I just don't get any pleasure from beating the shit out of other people. Just doesn't do out for me. But yeah, if you like that sort of thing, it will. So the it opens with violence. It's violent throughout, but it also contains. It's a real feeling story. It's very, because it's a biopic, it also feels like sort of half documentary as well. It's very realistic and observant. There's actually bits that, and on a negative side, there are bits that they are just, they're really like sort of unnecessarily drawn on, so they're really lengthy. Like the bit where they're at the fun fair, Mark and is it Dawn, Emily Blunt's character, and they're talking about going on a ride, but it's really heavily focused on, like, she's like, oh, you just put your back against the wall, and, you know, it moves so fast you won't even move. It's, oh my God, it's so good. You've got to go, come on, please, go on it, please. And it's like, she just goes on, and then where it actually sort of pans in on Emily's character on the ride, it's a really like sort of weird, almost like creepy moment where she's slammed against this wall, and she's like got this real goofy smile on her face, and she's trying to maneuver her body up the side of this ride, and it's like, it was a really bizarre moment, but it worked. So yeah, the another bit would be where like Mark is in a waiting room at a local sort of, well, we call it obviously A&E, but he's in this like surgery waiting room, and the conversation between him and this old lady opposite, that gets a lot of focus. So I think the director's point here is they were really trying to sort of touch upon this, his background and his story, his experiences, because they are actually quite rich, and they're drawn upon amazingly throughout The Smashing Machine. There isn't like a part of his life other than sort of upbringing and family that you don't get to absorb, and like I say, it is brilliantly performed. Yeah, right, so on a negative, when don't you see Dwayne Johnson half naked, like pumped, beating the shit out of someone and just throwing his weight around when don't you see that? So, you know, on that side of things, it's just a Dwayne Johnson film. Do you know what I mean? He's always been, or he always will be, he always is The Rock in anything he does. Whereas, Emily Blunt she was really, really different, her character. So, so you've got, it's very, it's very typecast, it's very samey from his point of view. I don't know, what did they do with the prosthetics? Was it just his nose, or was it everything else? I don't know. It was like really, it was good. They really made him up to resemble Mark Kerr. Otherwise, there is, blimey, what else is there? So I think for me, it's just the fact that, you know, he is The Rock throughout it, although he is decent in some parts, and yeah, it just sort of flows. I would say it's a negative that it just sort of The scene transitions, it's just bang, 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 bang. It flows beginning to end. Nothing, it doesn't get caught up in itself. It doesn't go off on a winding, pretty much like this reaction. It doesn't go off in like a winding path. You know what I mean? It sort of, it captures like the essence of who he is and what he does brilliantly, and then just goes bam, literally. So yeah, there is that. I can't really. Yeah, there's no negatives there, really. Right, so let me just quickly wind back to Emily Blunt. So, I love Emily Blunt. She's just she's so lovable and goofy, isn't she? She's like she's always got that sort of, that like slight overbite, sort of quirkiness to her. I mean, the thing is, in The Smashing Machine, as soon as she appeared, I was like, wow. So yeah, normally she's kind of quick, like in The Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling. She was quirky and funny, very comical, throwing wisecracks left, right, and centre. And she's pretty much been like that throughout her whole career. So yeah, in The Smashing Machine, she turns up, and the second she appears, she's got this like. She's brilliant. She's sassy and she's dripping with attitude, and she's really blunt, I was going to say. But yeah, she's brilliant. She's foxy, she's sarcastic, she's great. And yeah, her eye makeup when she arrives, she's like some sort of like vamp, like a Disney vamp sort of character. She's great. Incredibly different to Disney, obviously. But yeah, she turns up, and there's something about, she absolutely embodies his girlfriend, like, faultlessly. Well, I mean, I don't know anything about Dawn, Mark Kerr's girlfriend in the past, but she plays a character like nothing I've seen before. And towards the end, when their relationship spirals, she's just fantastic. She loses her shit. There's screaming, there's terror, there's crying, throwing herself around. At one point, I almost started welling up, because it's a real portrayal of how she's like her mental health comes into play, and anger, and it all comes bubbling to the surface. He loses his shit. She loses his shit. It's a lot of domestic shit, but it's very bearable, and like I say, it's fantastically played out by Emily more than Dwayne, actually, I would say, because again, when isn't Dwayne like throwing his weight around, being the Rock? I mean, halfway through this film, Mark goes to a barber shop and gets his head shaved. When he turns up again in the next scene, he's like, "Hey baby, how are you?" And it's just basic. It's Dwayne. Do you know what I mean? It's him. So up against Emily, she wins hands down. She is just brilliant. Absolutely spectacular. What was the last thing she was in? Last movie? It wasn't The Fall Guy, was it? Again, completely different take. In The Smashing Machine, her characteristics and her sort of distinguishing look, she's just absolutely supreme. Brilliant. So I think, like I say, it flows well from beginning to end, although there are those lengthy bits that sort of really focus in on various aspects of Mark's life and what he gets up to, whether they go to a fun fair, whether he ends up in A&E. Yeah, it runs brilliantly. It's seething with domestic strife, shall we say. So it focuses very heavily on his relationship as well as his friendships with fellow wrestlers. Again, I'm not into that sort of sport. I'm not into that at all. But even I was sat there sort of gripped when he loses at the end. I was like, fuck, oh my God, what's he going to do now? Oh my God, why do I even care? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, for dramatics and like the dynamics of that, it really drew me in. It had me captivated. I was entertained. I was bowled over by Emily. I was captivated, I think, throughout. So yeah. That's it. Didn't realise I was going to hit 9 minutes. Well, 10 minutes. But yeah, I think that's it from me. This is a really, really, though, to sum up, it's a real watchable biopic. Some of them can be really so gritty and tense that they just explode, and they throw all sorts of shit at you. It's always like really, really violent, but then it calms down and it starts going off on we hear about the mother and the father, then we hear about the siblings, then we hear about the other half, and it's brilliantly done, very well executed. And it mixes a comedy and tragedy perfectly. So I didn't mind the Smashing Machine. I did almost, given the whole the whirlwind of emotions throughout the film. I was almost beside myself because a friend of mine texted me halfway through to tell me Patricia Routledge died today. Mrs. Bucket. Loved Keeping Up Appearances, loved that. I came out of the screen because I needed the loo, and I started audio clipping my friend, and I was like, oh my god, she was one of the best actresses. I was like, shit. Oh my god. So I just lost my shit halfway through. Nothing to do with the Smashing Machine. It was more Patricia Routledge, which is a complete contrasting other level. But yeah, my God. I'm surprised I didn't burst into tears at the end of the Smashing Machine. Anyway, I'm going to leave this here. So, like I say, it's it runs brilliantly. If you're a fan of the sports, martial arts, heavyweight wrestling, all the rest of it, absolutely give it a go. You'll love it. And Emily Blunt character transformation was fantastic. Truly. The backing cast as well. I was going to say just as good, not just as good. She outweighs them, but they are very strong cast. It's very authentic, even when they're in Tokyo at the championships. Just the people who are introducing them, or the interviewer who's interviewing Mark. They're all just really strong and really steadfast. Everyone pulls together and delivers. They just deliver a brilliant show throughout the Smashing Machine, so it's great. Anyway, I'll leave this here, but well done, Emily. Well done, Dwayne. Same character as always. You'll love it if you're into that sport. If not, give it a go anyway. It'll be on Disney Plus in a few weeks, I guarantee.